Hi, I went to the movies this weekend and saw Drive Away Dolls, the first solo film by Joel Coen. It's the result of a collaboration with his wife, Trisha Cook, who's also the film editor, and is a film that's been in development for quite a long time, I think almost 20 years at least. It's the story of two young lesbians living together in Pennsylvania. One is a promiscuous, outgoing type, the other is much more buttoned down and reserved. And they decide to take a road trip down to Florida to visit the more buttoned down one's aunt. However, they make the decision to book a drive away car, one that's going to be delivered from Philadelphia to Tallahassee. They get a free rental. All they have to do is drive it down there by a certain deadline and pay for any repairs and petrol on the way. There's a mix up, and they take a car that's supposed to have been driven away by some gangsters who have hidden two items in the boot. I won't say what those items are, but when the two women find them, they realize that they're in a much more complex situation than they expected and have various parties all after them, culminating in blackmail, murder, and all sorts of other goings on. It's a very tight 1 hour and 24 minutes, and it's actually too short. There is not remotely enough character development for the two leads. They're both quite engaging and interesting characters. There's a kind of chalk and cheese dynamic that's reminiscent of David Mitchell and Robert Webb in Peep Show. But this undercurrent that they're lesbians is a major element of the story. The film's title on screen is actually not Drive Away Dolls. That's the title used in publicity. It uses a different word starting with D, which I'm not going to say because it's not my word to use, but refers to the two title characters. And their game is a major element within the story, and what the items turn out to have a major relevance to them and to their relationship. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but it's really not satisfactory. A lot of the time, it feels like second-rate Coen Brothers material. It's a bit too lightweight, a bit too wacky, and the real lack of any weight to it, of any real substance, is a real problem. It's just far too insubstantial. There are a number of star names and cameos, but they are so brief and fleeting that it just feels like, yeah, you were able to get these names into your movie. It doesn't feel like they need to be there. I felt that one of the henchman characters who are chasing after our leads, played by Joey Slotnick, who I recognise from various other things, was far more engaging than any of the star cameos. And as a result, I felt kind of insubstantial. There were some twists towards the end, character twists, that felt very um, unearned. Where the relationship between our two leads, Jamie and Marion, suddenly takes various twists and turns. It felt we hadn't spent enough time with the characters for this really to be merited. And the fact that the movie's set in 1999 is odd. There's no reason for this whatsoever, and it just feels like this is left over from the original script. There are characters using mobile phones. There's no particular reason why having smartphones would be a problem. It just feels like this is leftover material, something that was down the back of the sofa, and now Ethan Coen wants to prove that he can stand alone from his brother, but is instead working very closely with his wife. Joel Coen, in the meantime, made The Tragedy of Macbeth, a very serious, down-the-line adaptation of the play. So one can see, I think, that Joel brings the more serious element, Ethan brings the wackier, more convoluted element, and why they balance each other so well. They are apparently working together on a new project, a horror film of some sort, and I'm very much looking forward to that because I'm not sure I'd be able to endorse another Ethan Coen solo project, particularly given that I can really not bring myself to endorse this one either.